Hello, 8th grade. Welcome to our second lesson for math. On Wednesday, we looked at exponential notation. Today, we are going to look at multiplication of numbers that are in exponential form. So, multiplication of exponential numbers includes addition. I know that sounds kind of confusing, but let's look at the example. So if we have 4 to the first power times 4 to the second power, really what we're doing is going to just be rewriting that 4 because it's the same base, and then adding our two exponents. We have the exponents of 1 and 2. So we add them together, we get 3. I'm going to move my bubble real quick so you can see all the words. Maybe. Okay, so they have the same base, so we can add them. So we get 1 plus 2 is 3. So we're going to have 4 to the third power. So we take 4 times 4, that's 16, times 4 is going to be 64. Okay. And if we were to take 4 to the first power, that's 4, times 4 to the second power, which is 16, we're going to have the same exact thing. So 4 times 16 is going to be 64 again. Okay, so let's look at another example. So I will work through the first one with you, and then after that, I want you to work through the other 3. So if we have 12 to the fourth times 12 to the third, we have the same base, so we're going to rewrite the 12. And then 4 plus 3 is 7, so we're going to have 12 to the 7th power. So go ahead and pause the video, work through the other 3, and then we'll look at all 4 answers. Okay, so see we have 12, 4 plus 3, which would be 7. Negative 6, it's the same base. We keep that in parentheses like we did yesterday. And then 7 plus 2 would be negative 6 to the 9th power. 2 to the second plus 8 would be 2 to the 10th power. And then 20 is going to be 20 to the third plus 6 is going to be 20 to the 9th power. Okay, so as I kind of already alluded to, they can be simplified one more step. So rather than just having those 4 plus 3, we can just write 7. Okay, so we have 5 to the third plus 5 to the fourth equals 5 to the 7th. You also can combine more than one number. So if you have 3 fours, that all have the same base, which they do, you add all 3 of their exponents. So 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 8 is 15, so we get 4 to the 15th. I know the numbers look a little funny, but that's just unfortunately how it looks on the PowerPoint. So on the bottom, we also have 4 tens. So 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 5 is 12, plus 9 is 21. So 10 to the 21st power. Okay. So what if the bases are different? Then what do you do? Well, we can still combine them to an extent. So if you look at this first one, we have 2 4s and 2 7s. So we're going to combine the 2 4s. So we have 4 to the 5th and 4 to the 3rd. So we have that here. Then we're combining the 2 7s, 7 to the 2nd and 7 to the 8th, right here. So you have 4 to the 8th times 7 to the 10th. And that would be our final answer. Okay, so then we look at the bottom one. We have 2 10s and 3 6s. So I skipped that middle step, but if we take the 2 10s, we have 10 to the 2nd and 10 to the 4th, so we're going to get 10 to the 6th. And then our 6s, we have 11, 3, and 7 as our powers. So it's going to give us 14, and 7 is 21, so 6 to the 21st. And that's that simple, okay? So what about this one? So we have 2 3s, which would be 3 to the 6th, times 9, which has no power. But remember, yesterday we can simplify 9 into having a power, because 3 times 3 is 9, so we would get 3 to the 2nd. So if we take the first part, 3 to the 6th, and add it to 3 to the 2nd, we're going to get a total of 3 to the 8th, and we simplified that whole problem. Okay? So what if they can't be simplified? So 5 to the 2nd and 2 to the 3rd, they can't be simplified because the bases are not the same. Okay, same with 3 to the 4th and 12 to the 2nd. But we can also use distribution to rewrite things in a simpler form. So if we have a times a plus b, we know that that means to multiply a by both numbers in parentheses. In this case, it's letters representing numbers. So if we have a times a plus b, it's actually a times a plus a times b. So if you keep looking down, we get a squared, or to the 2nd power, plus ab. Okay, just take a second and look at the slide. I know that's a lot. It can be confusing. Okay, so now we're going to look at some more examples to work through on your own. So some of them are going to have more than one base. Some are going to be that distribution type thing that we just looked at. So pause the video, work through these on your own, and then hit play when you're ready for the answers. Okay, so we took the 2 6s and got 6 to the 6th. We took the 3 5s and got 5 to the 12th. 3 plus 7 plus 2 is 12. This one, we have the same base, and we're actually multiplying that 4 times 6. So we had 24 for that, and then a to the 8th, because we took the 2 and the 6. Okay, down here we had 2 2s and 3 2s, but remember you can break down that 8. So we got 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 7 is 14, and then we broke down that 8. So that would be 2 to the 3rd, and got 2 to the 17th. Okay, and then the bottom one was what we just looked at on the previous example. So if we simplify it, like distribute it, we'd have x to the 2nd plus xy. Okay, so you can go ahead and work on your assignment, which is going to be working with multiplication with exponents. If you want another practice problem, keep watching the video and we will go through one more, or a few more I should say. Make sure you're logging into Excel and that you are getting that SMART score of 100. That's the goal. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause, work on these other 4 example problems, and then hit play when you're ready for the answer. So first one, we took the 2 5s, we had 5 to the 4th, and then we took the 7, and we got 7 to the 11th. The second problem, we again did that multiplication because it's the same number in front. 2 times 12 is 24, and then b to the 13th. This one, we had to break down that 16. So we had 4 to the 7th times 16, which would then give us 4 to the 9th. And the last one, the bases are not the same, so we cannot do anything about it. That is it for today's lesson. If you have any further questions, as always, let me know. I can always get you more problems to work on or help explain something more. Otherwise, have a great Thursday and a great weekend.